Okay, so we're kicking off our last lesson on slope with another one of these word problems. So let's go ahead and annotate what's important. We have a table. It's got the cost of the phone in terms of time spent. Okay, so that's our X and our Y. They want us to determine the rate of change. So that's the first thing. And then we need to explain what it means. So that means there should be a sentence. So first of all, we got to find slope. Formula's down here. I'm going to pick 2 points. So this will be my x1 and my y1. I'm going to be strategic. Since I see 95, I'm going to pick the other one that has 95, just so the subtraction will be easier. So this is x2 and y2. So let's get this in the equation. So on top is y2 minus y1. That's 2395 minus 1795. And on the bottom is x2 minus x1, so that's 60 minus 20. Biggest mistake we make is we put the numbers in the wrong place, okay? So just go in order. y2 comes first, then y1. On the bottom is your x's. So let's subtract. This is $6, and this is 40. I'm going to go ahead and divide that out because I know I can't leave it like that. I'm looking for my denominator to be 1 if possible. So does this go in evenly? 40 goes into 60 once. 20 are left over. 40 goes into 215. So this gives me a 0.15 over 1. What does that mean? 0.15 what? Well, that's money. So that's 15 cents for 1. Time is measured in minutes. So the rate of change is, it costs 15 cents a minute to talk on the phone. So what does the rate of change mean? The rate of change, I'm just going to put ROC, is it costs 15, oops, not 0.15. It costs 15 cents per minute to talk. So that's it for this part of the problem. The next slide is the next step. So I want us to remember what's in this table, okay? Okay, so I went ahead and added in what we had in that table, because here they want us to use the rate of change to figure out how much would it cost to talk for 2.5 hours. And then explain how we did all that. Okay. How much does it cost to talk for 2.5 hours? Well, we know the cost is 15 cents for a minute. Not for an hour, but for a minute. So the first thing I want to do is I want to change 2.5 hours. I want to convert that into minutes. So I know 1 hour is 60. 2 hours would be another 60. Half an hour would be 30. So that's 150 minutes in 2.5 hours. So the first thing I want to do is just multiply, right? 150 minutes times, 15 cents a minute. I get 0, 25, 7, 0, 0, 5, 1. Add these up, 0, 5, 12. So it should cost me $22.50 for 2.5 hours. But if I add that, if I add that to my table, that doesn't make sense. It can't be cheaper than 1 hour. So this is like yesterday with Mike and his lawns, right? This means our chart didn't start at 0. So what we're going to do, we're going to figure out how much does it cost with 0 minutes. So how much is my phone plan if I don't talk at all? Because they must be charging me something before I talk. So we're going to figure out what's the cost of 20 minutes. So we're going to do 20 times this. We're going to get 0 and 10. We're going to get 0 and 2. So it's only $3 to talk for 20 minutes. So then why is it $17.95? That means they charged me something before I talk any minutes at all. So we're going to subtract this from that total to see how much do they charge me just to even have a phone, right? So I'm going to take off the minutes. So it looks like they charge me $14.95 a month just to even be able to have phone service. And then on top of that, I get charged for how many minutes I talk. So to see the cost for 2.5 hours, I'm going to take the cost of those minutes and then I have to add it to this like service charge, right? So I'm going to add $22.50 and $14.95. So my bill would be $37.45 if I talked for 2.5 hours. Now that makes a little bit more sense because 1 hour is 23. So 2 hours, right? It should be a lot more. So not just a few dollars, and it certainly shouldn't be cheaper. So $37.45 is my final answer for this one. I know this one was a little challenging because we had to do that extra step. So now you're going to try one more practice problem on your own before you take your exit ticket.